Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 7th of July. With Robert Murray McShane, we're working our way through the book of Joshua. Today, reading chapter 9, which is headed The Gibeonite Deception. As the Israelites were advancing into the promised land, the nations there heard of what had happened. They heard what had happened as the Israelites came out of Egypt and what had happened to Jericho, the great city on the plains. And they were all concerned and formed an army against them. But one group, the Gibeonites, decided, you're not going to win this battle. So instead, they used a ruse. They came and pretended that they'd come on a great journey from far away. They had worn out shoes and had brought moldy bread and cracked old ancient wineskins with them. So it looked like they'd been on journey for a long time. And they came and they said, we've heard about your fame, now make a treaty with us. And the Israelites did. And then they found out that in actual fact, these were their neighbors and they oughtn't to have made a treaty with them. And therefore they said, well, we can't renege on our treaty. We've sworn it in the name of the Lord. We will uphold the treaty, but these people will be for us the hewers of wood and drawers of water. But in verse 14, we read the following as it discusses what was going on there. It says, the Israelites sampled their provisions, but did not inquire of the Lord. Then Joshua made a treaty of peace with them and let them live, and the leaders of the assembly ratified it by oath. They sampled their provisions, but did not inquire of the Lord. And so on the one hand, they'd done the right thing. They'd been humanly responsible. They tested and ticked all the boxes, done the checks that were necessary. But they hadn't inquired of the Lord. And for me, they just spoke and said, we need to constantly be inquiring of the Lord as we make our plans. And it's not that we sit and do nothing. We check the boxes and we sample their provisions as they did, but we also inquire of the Lord. And so as you go through life, I pray that in the plans that you make, in the decisions that you have to take, in the way you order your life, that you will make the necessary plans and get everything right, but always inquire of the Lord and say, Lord, guide us. Lord, be with us. If this isn't of you, make that clear to us. And I've heard of many stories where people are doing things and they prayed to the Lord and something just didn't go right and something came in the way and they couldn't go through with it. And with hindsight, they realized that was actually God stopping them because they could see, had it gone on, it would have been a disaster. So always remember, checks and balances, yes, but inquire of the Lord because he is faithful. He will answer and he will come follow through for us. Be encouraged by that thought and know that we're blessed.